Hello, and welcome to round 5 of Being Human. Today I'm going to be talking about paradigms and recapping on the last few videos that I've been talking about and the last few topics I've been discussing to try and engage that paradigm, which is a pattern of thinking. And what we'd like to do is create paradigm shifts, which is the whole purpose of the last few topics. And of course, the best way to do that is to just break down a little bit what we were talking about and really create those shifts and really start those shifts from happening. So just to explain what a paradigm is, and if you don't understand what one is, or if you've never heard that word or phrase before, if you have, wonderful. If you haven't, a paradigm is a pattern of thinking, and the easiest way to explain that is to say a negative pattern of thinking is when you think to yourself, "Oh, life isn't good, life's not great, it's bad, I'm stressed." To make a big shift to a more positive paradigm, which is life is wonderful, things are great, I'm happy, things are joyful. So this is what we'd really like to do, and what I'd like to begin with is discussing the previous topics and the purpose of each individual one and what we can try and gain from the pattern of thinking shift. So the first thing I talked about was addiction and discipline. And within that topic, it was about having self-awareness to create self-control. Of course, we're not all going to be able to stop all our bad habits and create wonderful, great disciplines within a day. However, if we understand and have that awareness of that behavior that we've had and the bad habits that we've had and the addictions that we've had, we can become aware, then we can then fully understand how to become self-controllable. So when we're self-controllable, we're in the place where we can be better with ourselves and be better with our habits and our addictions, and really get into understanding of what it is we're actually doing so we can learn to control them. And that was the whole purpose of that subject and that topic. I didn't mean to offend, and if I did, I do apologize. If we could just recap on that last little bit that I wrote and I left up from the last one, which is offense is only taken when a judgment is made upon yourself or someone else. So please don't take any offense if you felt that I was digging at any specific bad habit that you have, or bad habit that you may think you do or don't have. The idea was to engage with the ideas that we do have bad habits and we do have addictions, and that doesn't make us any bad of a people, but it does stop us from being better. So to obviously become better human beings, we must acknowledge these things, become self-aware, and then create self-control. The next topic was trauma, and the idea of discussing trauma was to really engage things that we go through. And some of us feel like, okay, well, I've just learned to deal with things, or I've learned to cope with things, or they don't really bother me. That's fine, that's wonderful. However, we are affected by trauma, and we do make decisions based on traumatic experiences that we've had. So for example, if you've walked past a certain door and you've kicked your foot against it and you've stubbed your toe, then every time you walk by that, you'd be cautious and think about that time that you kicked your foot on that door. So it would affect the decision that you made. Or for example, if you walk down an alleyway and you got beaten up in that alleyway, then you would feel to think twice about walking down that alleyway again because of that traumatic experience that you face. And those are just examples. I mean, trauma affects a lot of our decisions that we make throughout the day. And if we can do our best to remove these traumas, then we can make better decisions for ourselves. So the idea of understanding trauma is not to say that we're all traumatic patients who need help, but to understand, to better ourselves, we must acknowledge what our traumas are so we can remove them and move forward and make better decisions for ourselves. And understanding those levels of trauma and understanding if there is something that does affect how we feel, instead of trying to run from it or continue life without acknowledging it, it will affect us at some point in our lives, or if not every day in our lives. I know a few people, a few clients who have actually gone to a certain age, in their even mid-50s and early 60s, and have started to retire, and have now actually been in a place where now they're standing still and they're not 100% moving at 100 miles an hour, they slow down a lot, that they're actually starting to realize, and these things are starting to dwell and catch up with them. And they will, because when we do actually finally stop at some point in our lives and look to rest and relax, these things will surface, and they will surface right to the top, where we actually have to deal with them. And instead of suppressing them, we must express and process these emotions. So a wonderful thing to do is to acknowledge these traumas earlier on, before we do get to that chance of relaxing. And we're not able to relax because we don't actually deal with that trauma. It will catch up with us. So the best idea is to acknowledge these traumas from early as possible, and to deal with them, and to learn some sort of therapy for ourselves and practice these therapies. And these therapies can range from EMDR, EFT, Havening, and another one which is my favorite, meditation. Meditation is the key to raising your vibration, to letting go of certain thoughts in your mind, to clear your thoughts so you can think better and think clearer. And when you think clearer, you can make better decisions. And when you have good thoughts, you'll have good words, which will have good actions and will create positive, good, wonderful outcomes. So we want to really start at the root, which is the good thoughts. So if we remove all these negative thoughts and learn to let go of them, we can then have better thoughts. And then once we have better thoughts, we can have better words, better actions, and better outcomes. So we do our best to remove traumas so we can make better decisions. So every step is linked, and every topic is linked in its own way. The last one that I talked about was relationships. And the purpose of the relationships is to understand how to have the best relationships, so we can be better for ourselves and better for our spouses, our partners, and our loved ones, including our children and our relatives. If we can work on our relationships to make them 100% better in every aspect, which is the relationship triangle, the love, intimacy, and friendship, and create a good balance in each corner, then we can have better relationships and enjoy better time and more time with our spouses, instead of spending time arguing or disagreeing. Even though that argument, it's a good example of two different people having two different opinions and two different ideas and backgrounds, and coming up with two different conclusions to a situation, which is where disagreement usually comes in, and that's where arguments usually take place. It's just two people with two separate opinions. Doesn't mean one is right or wrong. It could be that one has a better argument than the other. However, that's two different ideas from two different worlds coming together and coming to a similar conclusion, or even a different conclusion. And then the best thing to do is to compromise on that, or to find a better solution, or reflect and respect the others' ideas and beliefs, and move forward with that in a positive way. So relationships are very important, just as much as dealing with trauma and dealing with addictions and bad habits. And the last thing I was going to also mention was discipline. So if we can create good disciplines throughout our life for all of these things, it can give a positive effect on our outcomes. So if we can do our best to create good disciplines for our health, good disciplines with for example, strengthening yourself through physical activity or exercise, whether it's stretching, yoga, or some form of cardiovascular workout, then that's a wonderful thing for our health. And also disciplining our minds to be able to be stronger, and creating good programs and good mindsets, and obviously turning some of these bad habits and addictions into disciplines, and taking these times to create good disciplines is a wonderful paradigm shift. So if we can create those paradigm shifts, that's an absolute wonderful thing. If we can use the therapies to better ourselves and remove trauma, then we can create a better paradigm pattern of thinking, which is to obviously improve the mind and better the mind and heal the mind and body where we can, so we can then move forward making better decisions. And if we can have a paradigm shift to create balance and treat each other better in our relationships, then we can also move forward and enjoy our day and enjoy our time with our spouses and or partners, and really enjoy each other's company and really enjoy life, because I'll be brutally honest, all I ever want to do is just enjoy my life. So to say that all I want to do is enjoy my life, I must break down life, which is a series of moments, and then find the joy in each day. So if we find the joy in each day, we can enjoy our lives. And that's one of my true goals, is really to enjoy my life and be happy, as much as it is to serve and help people. That is also one of the needs that I must and wants that I want for my life. And I'm sure majority of the people watching this, and everyone who you know around you, probably feels the same way, that they truly just want to enjoy life. And the best way to do that is to break down life. And life is a series of moments, like I said, and take each moment of each day and just enjoy it, and spend as much time as you can with loved ones, spend as much time as you can bettering yourself to be better and stronger, have that connection with the higher power, or God, or whatever you wish to call it, and really better yourself and give love to others around you, and really embrace the love yourself, and understand that we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. So what we must do is really take care of the spirit and the body, which is the temple. So on that note, I will wrap things up and just ask if you can drop some likes and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If there's anything you wish to discuss, or if you have any comments, please leave that in the comments section, or feel free to drop me a message privately, and we can discuss things further. If there's therapies or if there's coaches that you're looking for, I'm happy to point you in the right direction. If you wish to discuss anything with me privately, please feel free to drop me a message, and I look forward to hearing from you guys, and see you in the next one. Thank you.